I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Pillar, would you lead us in a prayer?
Yes. Everyone, please bow their head. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together this evening. We thank you for the opportunity to represent this fine city. And we pray that the activities tonight may be pleasing to you, and that the orders in which we need to follow to take care of this city may be pleasing to our citizens as well. We just thank and praise you for the weather that we've been having lately, the moisture and the sunshine and everything like that. And we just pray that it would continue on to help those who need it. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, can I get the reading and approval of the minutes from June 3rd, please?
Motion to approve and suspend reading.
Motion by Hack. Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor of the minutes, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Any changes?
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Pillar. Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. Engineers report. Monty, were we going to have everybody on the phone, or?
No, nobody indicated that they wanted that.
Okay.
So we don't want
The only discussion, I guess, was just briefly we were talking with Buster about the trench still being open. It sounds like they're doing about 10 feet a day. They're so deep. It didn't work last Friday. Monday they didn't work because of the rain. Probably won't work tomorrow because of the rain. Yeah, so I know that we're having some issues there. Monty got an email today about from the Hagermeisters, and they're not happy with the dust control that we requested. Apparently there has been no dust control other than Mother Nature doing her job. So sounds like John from Moore is going to touch base again with them to see what the deal is. Other than that, I don't know anything else about the project.
They did send a video if you wanted to see it.
Sure, absolutely. This is the Hagermeisters? That's going in front of their house. The second house is their house, yeah. Well, comments?
It's too bad they don't even have a water truck up there.
They do.
They do?
That's a sewer truck. Oh, is it that one with the silver tank on it?
So they don't have a water truck.
Okay, well, that's very disappointing, especially when, we've asked them to take care of that. Mark, you said with their, no, it was Jared that mentioned that
It's built into the contract.
built into the contract with their water mitigation plan, I believe. So,
Or stormwater.
Stormwater.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their stormwater permit. Yep.
So
Like I can write a pretty firmly written letter to them.
I think it's necessary.
Okay, we'll get something out.
what does the rest of the board think? That's just my opinion. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, all right. Yes, please.
Dust on our road is pretty, because they make that big loop and they come back on Wild Road past our recycle bins or grass bins, and that road gets really dusty also.
Monty, can you send me a copy of the permit?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll get a letter out tomorrow.
Dave, after the last meeting, you and Jared are gonna drive up there and take a look at the
We
road.
know, but like Wild Rose or whatever, that's just got recycle on it, so we can note the condition of it.
Yeah.
Because they're using it a lot in case it would get all rutted up or whatever, and then it could be put back in the condition out of it before they.
What's it looking like?
So far, it's holding up and looking
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Unless anybody has anything else to add under the engineer's report. 6A, street closure request for Chalk Fest. Ken, that's you, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's me, thank you, Commissioners. I had sent a file to Monty that showed the words "wonderful world." Maybe you can get that Google Earth, and there you could see what the Chalk Fest group wants, and they have twisted my arm to lay that lettering out on the street.
Thank you.
And I said I would. And so the way I understand it, from those folks in the past, the street has been swept and then washed down. And then,
Just swept, yeah.
oh, just swept?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think in the request I had as Monday morning, it gets closed off and then swept, and we'd start laying out those letters. And the purpose of the letters, the block letters, is inside is where the children are going to do their own little chalk drawings within that. And it may stretch out a little bit further to the west and a little bit further to the east because their professional artists want the space between the word wonderful and the word world for their drawings. And so if the request would be to close the street down on the Monday and certainly through the Chalk Fest, and it was mentioned that in the past years, it stayed closed until the following Monday morning, but that's your folks' decision, no matter what, when you want to close it, when you think it needs to be open. But that's the request and the purpose, because it'll take at least a day or day and a half to lay out that lettering, and then they'll paint with, I guess they use flat black chalk paint or something, paint within the letters so when the children do the chalking, it shows up.
Yeah.
So that's the request on it.
Thank you, Ken. Any questions, Mr. Link?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Pillar,
Second.
second by Hack. Discussion.
We put up barriers and stuff on the ends and stuff like.
What we do in years past is I take them and have them laying off on the side, and when they're ready to start, they actually set them up.
Okay.
That way, if you get an earlier start or a little bit later start or whatever, I won't have the road blocked off. But we have them there for you guys to put up, and we do take them down, and you guys decide what day we do it, and we'll remove them.
Perfect.
Do we want to do that following Monday then? Or
Yeah.
up all?
Yes.
So the motion was for the dates as submitted by Mr. Link.
To close on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, AA, fireworks permit, memory fireworks. Have you talked to them, Monty?
I have not talked to them directly. Chris was in today and said she was working with them to try and get their approvals from the fire chief. They had some materials delivered already so that they could set it up so Corey could look at it. So I guess at this point, it would be, if you're intending to take action on it, would be to approve a contingent on Fire Chief Berry's.
Now, did you make note that this particular building was looked at last year, and that the state organization did
Yes.
approve it?
Yes,
Okay.
and in visiting with Chris today, she did indicate that the state fire marshal had actually made some changes which would loosen some of those restrictions on it. So, but they don't have anything in writing yet.
Okay. But they're still meeting the requirements from last year, which arguably were more stringent.
That was my understanding, that between them and Chief Berry, they would be addressing those questions.
Okay.
So I got a question. Even though the permit isn't like approved yet, I'm just curious, I guess, why they got, nice product in there, I guess. But
That was just for display for Corey to understand what they were trying to do. They brought only enough to basically set it up so that he could see what it was like. In case there were questions, that he could address them directly with them then.
And the semi-trailer's not there yet, I don't think, but. Well, I know there's been kind of a lengthy conversation the last couple of years, and it always seems like it's a last minute thing. It's not quite last minute, but.
Well, at least they submitted the application a little sooner this year.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea when Corey was going to get in there or not?
Chris is
Just
getting-
working directly with him to try and get that arranged.
All right. So what would the board like to do?
Make a motion that we proceed forward on the contingency of Corey looking at it and okaying it.
Okay, motion by Ack,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion. Roll call.
Hack,
I,
Stern,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Water and sewer.
I have nothing to report this evening. Thank you. Other than just to pass my thanks on to all of the folks that work in that particular area. It's been a pretty easy portfolio to be responsible for. We've got good workers out there, and we've had some pretty good and challenging projects over the last several years with street projects and now with sewer projects. So that's it.
Thanks, Dan. Streets.
the only thing I have is, and it was on our notes, in regards to the existing asphalt and concrete that has been accumulating out there. So I make a motion that we proceed forward with that. I mean, to me, it's a kind of a no-brainer. No immobilization, very cheap. So then we can stay on top of, and not get so big of a pile since they're gonna be close.
So you're proposing everything we have out there that needs to be crushed as part of this adventure?
Yeah, Monty, there's a pile right north of the existing crush and then out
East.
east.
Yeah, we're starting to make a pretty big footprint. We're running up to store the uncrushed.
Okay.
I will get a hold of the gentleman upon your approval or whatever and get a little more concrete information, maybe something in writing.
The only question I did have, Dave, is was he going to just crush it where it's at, or?
That's stuff I will talk to him, because we want it piled right with what we already have.
Correct.
Because he said he's driven around out there a couple times himself. That's when he called me the very first time. And then he called the other day and said that they were in the area that if he could get that, he'd do it for the lesser price and pretty much no mobilization or whatever he's gonna be here.
I'll second that motion and then have some additional questions.
Thank you. We got a motion by Hack and second by Pillar. More discussion.
How close are the piles of this refuse compared to the ones, I mean, is it something that's reasonable distance that
It's
even
a
if
little
he?
farther
even if he
than it
doesn't
was
have the
before
equipment?
the last time or whatever. The pile was a little bit closer that they were crushing, but they were actually hauling from out where we have it piled now. But there was some that was a little bit closer.
Okay,
So it'll be about the same. Their equipment will be set up probably in that open area close to the crush pile or whatever, so I mean, they need pretty good room for that equipment, so.
I mean, it's not a long distance, it's just right east of the grass, the end of that last part of the grass
I
pile.
guess a reason for my asking that question, are we not staged to be able to do that? Is that something with our equipment that, I mean, if our goal is to have it all in one location for servicing the community or whatever customers in the future, is that something that we would be able to take our front end loader out there and?
Yeah, I think we did help when they crushed the last time. I know Mike had spent quite a bit of time out there helping to move some product around or whatever. And so we could have it where we got it now, so.
Yeah. Last time we crushed, though, we had a lot more asphalt.
Yeah,
And it was, when we blended it, it became a really good blend mixture. You know, this time we have, I would say, like 80% concrete, 20%
yeah, there's some pretty
asphalt.
good asphalt underneath, but to get to it or whatever.
Okay. And maybe we blend some of our existing pile with what we're gonna grind up here, I don't
Could
know.
visit with him if I can get him out here, and him and I could go out here, because it'd be nice to have the same kind of consistency that we got.
That's a really good product. Yeah, and I think just we need something more than just
Yeah,
that, yeah. Okay. So Mr. Weidrich, go ahead.
I just have a question, you know, on the total of this project, is it gonna be then, I guess, about 20 grand or something, or?
I know I went out there and went around with the wheel and guesstimated height and not tried to figure tonnage. I know he drove around and threw out a number, but I can try to maybe work with him and.
From what we came up with, we'd be anywhere from 11 to 1,500 tons. So, yeah, we'd be around that $10,000 range. So,
Okay. That's a good
there again,
thing to know.
it's a big guess.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second on approving the crushing of the asphalt. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Hack,
Aye.
Pillar,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Anything else on streets? Dave?
Staying on top of the mowing, equipment's been working good, knock on wood.
Thank you. Finance, busing, library,
No. Okay, tonight.
police, fire, forestry, welcome 3/4 of our police force.
I don't have a whole lot today. We did pick up some more free ice cream cones from Cenex for you guys. Paul was good enough to give us those.
Awesome.
Got some run reports for sort of in the month of May, basically. We had a motor vehicle accident on Highway 49 that I'm sure everybody is aware of. And we also had another motor vehicle accident on Highway 200. So pretty quiet compared to the month before that. Then we did get some tree quotes. Dave would like to remove some trees.
The The one tree is storm damage, the tree itself will be saved, but we gotta get the broken section out of there, we just can't reach it.
Will you just describe where they are? That way, if somebody comes to us and says, hey, we seen this tree over there, we might know whether or not that's
Yeah,
something
one is
that's.
up on Central,
Okay,
over North Star 2, and the other one is on Main Street.
okay.
One more over here, 2 spots north at Cordell Crops.
Only thing these quotes do include stump grinding, which we can do ourselves, correct, Dave?
We got quite a bit to do or whatever. I wouldn't mind if they did these. I probably got almost a dozen to do of our own, or that we've cut down, and we got a lot of trimming to do. We got a bunch of dead stuff we gotta trim out of some of these trees if you drive around town. I'd like to get them all ground this year or whatever, but we're just still kind of short-handed. But if you want to put off the stump grinding, I mean, we will try to get it in a timely manner.
I think if we could get the tree down, and then once we get to the stump grinding, we get to it.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about us having them do it right away. It's something that can wait.
Okay.
So let's
even
use
something you
our,
could do in the winter, correct?
yeah,
If it's an open enough winter, yeah.
absolutely. Let's have our, let's do those. But
Now, Turnus didn't quote the other two that
Correct.
Seven Arrows did.
But
so 7 Arrows is close. Lower on all of them then, right?
You go back up to that one above this one, Monty.
is this one the same one that
Turner's
Turner's quoted?
This one
And that
and
are the
this
same?
one are the same. This is the one back here just north of City Hall.
And that was,
Turnus is 2,200 on that one, and 7 Arrows is 15, right?
Yes.
and then that second one for 7 Arrows, which one is that again? West?
That is the West Main. It's over there, close to the gym,
We've used both
on the
of
south
these
side of the road.
companies.
We used 7 Arrows for one project
Yeah.
last summer, didn't we?
Yeah, we've used them a couple of times now, yes.
And you're comfortable with either?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the bids from 7 Arrows excluding stump grinding.
Motion by Weidrich,
Second.
second by Hack. Discussion. Roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Pillar.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried.
Did we ever figure out anything on that Meisner tree, Dave?
That is his.
That is his.
That is his. Yeah, I went and measured that last year.
Okay. I know at one time we couldn't decide whether it was his or ours or.
There's probably about this much of the tree that's on ours. It was planted on that side, and over the years it got big, and it did actually cross the line by a little bit, but very little.
Okay.
And I informed him, he actually came home that day that we did our measurements, and I told him it was his tree.
And that's all I have.
Just,
Chief Wolf, you have anything?
you mentioned the run reports. I just want to make a comment that Saturday when I was at the Chuck Strout Memorial thing at the bank, there were a lot of people that came back to Hazen, who lived from Boston to Arizona, California. A lot of people that used to live here a long time ago that came back, and they commented on many things about the community. 99% of them were great. And the one thing that someone commented, or a couple of people said, is a lot of these people get the Hazen Star. And they commented about how they're seeing the run reports and the amount of calls of service that our officers have. I think they thought this was Mayberry, North Dakota instead of Hazen, North Dakota, because they were surprised that there's that many not much activity and action. But they were very pleased to see that stuff. And they were very pleased with the overall look of our community too. So it's nice to hear. HCD, Buster.
Nothing new.
Okay. Under mine, I just want to thank Dan Pillar for being on our board and doing such a wonderful job. Dan, how many years were we on?
I don't know, Monty?
8.
Time flies when you're having fun.
8. It does. And you've done a great job. We really appreciate you're going to miss your leadership.
Thank you.
Enjoy your semi-retirement. And congratulations to you too for winning your seat back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excited.
I'm glad. Good for you. All right, moving down to the auditor's bond, 12A.
Annual process to approve the auditor's bond for 25% of the average money subject to the auditor's control, or $250,000, whichever is least.
Okay, we need a motion to approve this as we have in the past.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Pillar, second by Stern. Discussion. Roll call.
Pillar.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. That takes us to the public comments, and we were told that we're going to have a group of people here tonight for a dog issue. Anybody here for that? Okay. Thank you three for being here. I want to touch base on it anyhow. I did have Monty grab the ordinance, our dog ordinance that we did put a lot of work into last summer or last year. And apparently we had some people that were pretty upset and approached me in a business last week and said that they were going to be here in force because they had a dog attack on a dog that was not on a leash, came into their yard, scared their kids, attacked them. There was no bites or wounds or anything, but they were upset that we are not enforcing our leash law, or our police officers are not doing their job when it comes to dogs. When I asked the person which police officer it was, they couldn't tell me, but they just said the police officer told them, "What do you want me to do about it?" And like Jim and I talked when we visited about this, yeah, I said, was the police officer say, what do you want me to do about this? Do you want to press charges? Do you want, or was it, flippantly, giving them a sarcastic response? None of our police officers have anything written down. I went from that establishment straight to the PD, and AJ was there, and I visited with him. He said, he goes, I have nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. And neither do these three.
Dispatch doesn't have anything either.
Dispatch doesn't either? Okay.
Those are recorded phone calls every time you call dispatch.
Okay. Thank you for being here tonight, just in case they did come, because that would have been, I was very upset when I left that place the other day, listening to them bark about that stuff. But in case...
We haven't had one vicious dog that we haven't sent to Donovan paper.
Okay.
We've had 7 or 8, and they all been charged out. We had one put down, 2 left the town. And as leash laws, it says in the ordinance, as long as they can be on a leash on another device, and a lot of hunting dogs on the device of the owner, which would be like a command. So, but there's a lot more dogs on leashes now.
Are you guys seeing, so someone calls you, what's the typical? They said, someone calls and, hey, I saw a dog running by my house.
We go look for it and then find it. A lot of times, people, we call them or they meet us out there, and yeah, I went that way. And I don't want to do anything though. So,
Right.
I mean, with the amount, honestly, compared to past years,
Mm-hmm.
we have been citing a lot more people for, nuisance dogs, dogs at large. And like Jim just said, almost every vicious dog that we've dealt with, they've come in here, okay? And what we're seeing is, at least with the calls that I have, and I actually had one up, recently. If one of the dogs if a person's dog is out and about, that person will actually call dispatch and say, hey, my dog got out, here's the description, I'm out looking. Now, me personally, if your dog gets out and you are out looking, I'm not gonna give you a ticket because you knew your dog was gone. And now if said dog is out roaming around, tears after someone, well, then we have to act accordingly. Like I said, a perfect example, it wasn't too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, a lady found a dog, was able to capture the dog. It was a nice dog. I knew whose dog it was right away. But that owner, when I called it into dispatch actually said, hey, that owner is out looking for him right now. Here's the number. Met him in his house.
Good.
No harm, no foul. He apologized. He's actually been in here a few times because of his dog. And so lessons are being learned. I think a lot of it is people perceiving what we should be doing compared to what we really can do.
Of course.
I'm not quite sure the individual you're talking about, but I know that there's an individual who has had issues with the PD before, and he has said that, and this is recently, that a dog attacked his dog over by his house and tore his dog up. There was X amount of dollars, he took it to the vet, and he's been running his mouth because I've heard the same story from people who said, oh yeah, that guy that was just here, he's not happy with you, and things like that.
Right.
Like Jim has said, there's a lot of that going on. Well, if something like that actually happened, what can we do about it if you're not calling in, first of all?
Exactly.
If you're not coming to the PD. People have driven around town to find us.
Of course,
tell us.
yeah.
And so people are going out of their way to tell us about these dogs. Now, if this did happen to this extreme, well, where was this guy?
Exactly.
And my point is, if you're going to run your mouth, well, I don't see that guy in here. Okay? Hopefully he watches this.
I hope so.
Okay? He knows who he is. So,
and I welcome him.
If we're going to do that, well, we're here.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
Yep. Exactly.
And you know what? If my dog got tore up and had hundreds of dogs, or hundreds of dollars of injuries, well, yeah, I'm going to go talk to my police chief, find my officers. What can be done about this? Because we've done this before, and we've bent over backwards to help these people.
Exactly.
And the thing is what people don't understand also is once we charge these things out and it goes to the court, our hands are a little bit more tied because we actually have an individual who has yet to pay restitution years ago for her dog tearing some lady open, and it was pretty bad. And that person has yet to pay her restitution to that individual. So, before people go start running their mouths, come find us.
Absolutely.
Or call it in. I would say call it in first. But come to us, we're going to help you out. But if you're just angry or you have a grudge to go against with the PD, well, that's nothing we can help.
Yeah, I reassured them that things have improved, that we have a process, we have a policy that we follow. Said if there's damages, if there's bills, I said those things can be taken care of. And I don't think they wanted to hear that. They just want to know that they were mad and our police weren't doing their job. And they said, okay, come to the meeting, that's fine. Our attorney will be there too. I said our police chief will be at the meeting. So maybe they didn't like hearing all those things, but I wish they were here. And next time I probably ask the person tonight when I leave why they didn't show up.
And we don't know anything about this case. Was the dog by itself? Was it with the owner? Nothing.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
And a lot of times bring dogs to us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I hate when they bring them from the county. Take it back.
Well, and the good thing is, what I will give the community credit for is there's not a lot of animals that we take into custody that we wind up having to turn over to a kennel or a humane society. What we have is we throw it on Facebook page, we throw it on Hazen Classifieds, Bugle Classifieds, and honestly, it can be just a matter of days. In my instance, it can be just a matter of minutes. They're like, yes, that's that person's dog. We get that dog back to the owner. I mean, we're lucky in that aspect, you know. So it's not all negative. It's not all people jamming on the PD.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I do thank the community for that, because without that, a lot of these dogs would be going to the Humane Society because we don't know where they go. So.
And there's one dog case now that somebody's complaining about, saying I did not go up to the house, I just drove in the yard, looked at the dog, drove off. 3 minutes and 29 seconds of body cam talking to the people.
Yeah, that situation has really quieted down in a hurry. Yeah. I'm glad.
Once you found out it was on body cam.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
It's one good reason to use the body cam.
Absolutely.
For everything.
That's awesome. Moving on, we're still in public comment. Public comment?
I just want to,
John, do you want to just tell everybody who you are, please?
John Nygaard, I live next door here. Just want to bring to the city's attention about when Jerry and I spoke about this when it happened, the damage done to my house over there, fence during that snowstorm. I don't even remember which storm it was. Was it first one of the year, or? I could look at.
It was wet snow, and then they pushed it up against your house and against your fence.
As long as I lived there, they've used that fence as a backstop, and it's, you know, it's leading. But the other day I noticed that my brick on the side of the garage it looks so petty that I feel dumb for being here, but it is damage nonetheless. So if you guys could look at it, you know, we'll go from there. You get it on record, you know. I don't think it's not real serious, but there is something there. And you know, if I were to get a home inspector over there, you know, they would notice it. It's that noticeable. But,
okay.
So if we could just get, you know, the wheels rolling on that somehow.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Oh, see, it makes people nervous when community members show up.
Not nervous at all. I wish every seat was full in here.
That is why I'm here. That's the only reason I'm
Good,
here.
thank you.
We're at a new cycle, and I'm trying to be more involved in our community.
How's
That's
business?
the reason I'm here. Excellent.
Plumbing aspect going well?
Everything is going very well.
Good.
It's of course stressful because we doubled overnight, but yeah, but it's going very well. And you actually said that in 2020, I think, to me. I wish everybody was coming, and so I have it on my calendar because I want to try to be more involved.
Appreciate it, thank you. All right, approve of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Hack. Second by Stern. Discussion. Roll call.
Hack. Aye. Stern.
Aye.
Tiller. Aye. Weidrich. Aye. Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Thanks again for showing up, guys.
Dave.